Hello and welcome to my channel A for Azure. In this video, we will discuss on Azure Marketplace with a hands-on demo. So Azure Marketplace is a platform that allows users to discover, try and deploy applications and services that are optimized to run on Azure. In this video, we will explore the marketplace and demonstrate how to deploy an application from it. So what is Azure Marketplace? Azure Marketplace is an online store for buying and selling cloud solutions that are optimized to run on Azure. It is a hub for software vendors, developers, and cloud service providers to offer their applications, services, and data to Azure customers. Azure Marketplace has a wide range of solutions, including virtual machines, containers, software as a service, platform as a service, and data services. So, how to access Azure Marketplace? To access Azure Marketplace, you need an Azure account. If you don't have an Azure account, you can sign up for a free trial. And this we have seen in the initial videos. You can refer back to my channel playlist. Once you have an Azure account, you can access Azure Marketplace from the Azure portal or directly from the Azure Marketplace website. Let's go to the Azure portal and see how we can access Azure Marketplace and Azure services only through a lab demonstration. In this demo, we will demonstrate how to deploy an application from Azure Marketplace. For this demo, we will deploy WordPress, which is a popular content management system. We will show you step by step how to deploy WordPress on Azure using Azure Marketplace. So let's log into the Azure portal. And again, you can go to portal.azure.com, sign up with your account or log in with your account. And once you are on the home page, you can go to all services and then search for marketplace. And then once you are in the marketplace, you can quickly search for WordPress solution. So you have to remember that marketplace is a place where multiple vendors or software developers would have published their solutions. So you will see multiple WordPress offerings, and we can go through all of them or review the ones required, and then select the one that we want to deploy. And here we can select WordPress 6.0. And if you can see here, it's creating a virtual machine, and we are back to the virtual machine blade again because now it's going to deploy WordPress solution on the virtual machine. So here we'll provide all the basic details like subscription, resource group name, virtual machine name, region where we want to deploy that, availability options, security type, image that we have already selected from the marketplace. So just to remember, WordPress image is coming from the marketplace and the deployment is happening on the Azure. So now this image was pulled in from the marketplace, and then VM architecture and whether we want to run this with an Azure Sport discount. We will discuss this more when we are discussing virtual machines in the coming session. Then size, what size of the VM that you want to deploy. So it's basically a hardware capacity where it's a mapping between the CPU and the RAM and storage. Next, we have to create an administrator account. So administrator account can have one of these two authentication types, whether based on SSH public key, which is certificate based, or password based. So we'll choose password based. I'll provide my username and password. Once that is done, we'll click on next. Again, we'll quickly go through these options because we will be understanding virtual machine in greater detail in coming sessions. I'll click next, go through the networking, next, go through the management options, monitoring options, advanced options, and then finally tag, review, and create. So let's do the pre-flight validation and see if we have any errors. Otherwise, we get a green check, which we did. Validation has passed. We'll quickly click on create. And now our WordPress machine is ready and deployed. You can see the deployment is successfully completed. So we have two options. Either we can click on resource group or we can go to the resource directly. So we'll click on the resource group here and see what resources were created. So we can see along with the WordPress virtual machine, we have public IP, network security, virtual network interface, and disks. So we have everything which is required for WordPress to run already created along with the image. So we'll go to the WordPress. We see that the machine has a public IP. That means the machine is publicly accessible unless there is a security rule blocking the access. So we'll try to go to this public URL and see if we can access this machine. Yes, we can access and we can see that the WordPress setup page has opened, which means WordPress has got deployed successfully and now it's asking for configuration. So finally, let's look at Azure services only, contrary to Marketplace. So we'll go to all services, we'll search for Marketplace, and when we are in the Marketplace and looking for an offering, we have a checkbox which says Azure services only. Let's check that box and search for WordPress again. Checking this option, you can clearly see that there are no results found. That means with WordPress, there is no native offering from Microsoft. But whereas if we look at virtual machines, you can see that Microsoft offerings are available, which are for various different images. And thus, this is the difference between Marketplace and Azure services only. Thank you.